Well, it's finally here. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and we're back with another Total War Warhammer video. The Silence and the Fury has finally been announced. Lizardmen versus Beastmen. After around 5 years, the Beastmen are finally getting their time in the sun. And we've got a lot to discuss, but first, let's look at the trailer before we go into the actual specifics regarding the DLC, as there are a few things that we can discuss here, and some very, very big hints as to what is actually coming in the DLC. So let's watch it together again and stop at anything important. Okay, so it looks like we're either in Lustria or in the Southlands, as obviously the setting of the trailer kind of points to that. First thing, I don't think that we're actually going to be playing in Southlands or Lustria, maybe in the Eye of the Vortex in the Southlands, but I really doubt that they'll put these two guys in the Lustria Bowl for the Mortal Empires. It makes sense for the Eye of the Vortex campaign, more specifically for the Southlands hopefully, as there's a lot of dead space over there. But of course, when it comes to the Southlands or Lustria for the Mortal Empires, yeah, that's not going to work whatsoever. Like, it's way too cramped and it's not going to be enjoyable. Okay, so there's a very, very distinct shape which you might not see unless you have very keen eyes. It actually was another creator who pointed it out to me, but you can see here, that is a Kotal. I know it's very far-fetched to say, but I know that shape, and now that I know where it is, I can see it so clearly, it looks like a Kotal. I'm assuming that it's going to be a monstrous creature, very similar to that of the Arcane Phoenix, though they are known to be some of the most powerful spellcasters in the Warhammer Fantasy world. But I don't really assume that there'll be a Lord or Hero choice, because it's a monstrous unit at the end of the day. I don't know, it could be possible. Okay, so we've pretty much gone through the whole trailer. It's not too big because it's only just a small teaser. However, there's a few things to discuss from promotional artwork and what Creative Assembly have already told us. Just from this, before we get into the Legendary Lords, there are two interesting things here. Right behind Legendary Lord number 1, we have possibly a new type of chameleon skink, very likely to be a Lord or Hero choice. Of course, this makes sense, as, well, this is the Silence part of the Silence and the Fury, so I guess there's going to be a lot of emphasis on skirmishing combat, chameleons and so on. A Lord or Hero choice would be great here. And of course, behind Legendary Lord number 2, the Fury aspect of this DLC, we have a Minotaur. It seems weird that a Minotaur would be here unless this is a Doom Ball, a Lord choice for Minotaurs, which of course makes perfect sense if we're going to have a Minotaur Legendary Lord. I really hope this is the case, because then we can go full cow throughout the whole DLC. And yeah, I mean, who doesn't want that? Unfortunately, we don't really have a lot of art assets when it comes to the Silence and the Fury. We've got these screenshots, which I'm assuming are going to be part of the eventual trailer. This is just a teaser. Creative Assembly, of course, know how much we like teasers, don't we, guys? But moving on, let's just jump into the Legendary Lords, as there's a bit to discuss about them, because Creative Assembly actually did supply a bit of the plot. So the basic plot of the DLC is as follows. Formed of living bronze, the rage-filled Doomball Tarox is nigh on invincible, save for one area on his gargantuan neck. The Chaos Gods whisper to him of a ritual which can eliminate this weakness, but the promises of the ruinous powers are seldom what they seem. Meanwhile, Oxyotl, the revered chameleon skink and master of stealth, senses the machinations of chaos and rallies his cohorts. Tarox must be stopped at all costs, lest a new tide of chaos sweeps the world. When the silence meets the fury in a final confrontation, who will prevail? Okay, so this goes into the plot of everything, and I guess they're trying to make sense of the situation, because let's be very honest here, Lizardmen vs Beastmen is a very strange lineup, even more so when it features Oxyotl, who is known to hunt down demons. So it's rather bizarre, though we're going to have to start seeing gameplay to be able to tell, and I imagine that everything is going to be a bit more streamlined when we eventually get the full trailer. Now, we do have some plot revolving each of the Legendary Lords, so let's do that, and let's start off with Tarox. After embarking on a bloody rampage through Talabecland, Tarox was rewarded by the Dark Gods with a body of brass, and still he thirsts for slaughter. As he wins battles, Tarox gains momentum and his army can replenish action points to fight and fight again. Okay, that's pretty cool. You can keep fighting and keep moving as long as you're winning battles. I quite like that system. I've not been able to play yet, but that sounds really good. I mean, think about it. If you're playing Beastmen, mobility is important, and if you're going to be charging with a Minotaur Doomstack, this should be doable. The longer his kill streak continues, the greater the gifts bestowed upon him by the ruinous powers. Oh, okay, so a gift system too. This might be hinting towards the future when it comes to Chaos Undivided? I mean, if it works well, I don't see why that can't be implemented for the Warriors of Chaos, but we're gonna have to wait and see. And finally, he and his Beastmen hordes will ultimately need to locate the Heart of Darkness, where he will face Oxyotl in a final decisive battle. The Heart of Darkness seems to be something completely new as far as I can see. Any reference to that is usually from Warhammer 40,000, so I'm still looking through my books, and if I do find something I will have a follow-up video, but this seems to be something new. But now let's move on to Oxyotl, a chameleon skink of high renown. Oxyotl has a long history of fighting and succeeding against the otherworldly forces of chaos. His prescience enables him to detect where the forces of chaos will strike next, and utilizing the network of lost secret sanctums across the world only he can capture and develop, Oxyotl can choose which threats to tackle, and reap the rewards of victory. Okay, so there's a few things to discuss here first. So there's going to be multiple Chaos Invasions, I think? Maybe in a similar system as how the Wood Elves have these armies spawning around their locations that they capture? I don't know, it's not very clear here, but then it's the whole utilizing the network of lost secret sanctums. Does that mean that a bunch of different places are going to be added in? Because only he can capture and develop them. This is further reinforced with the following paragraph. Oxyotl can instantly travel between his capital, his unique mission areas, and any secret sanctums he has rediscovered. I guess that answers all the questions that I had just a few seconds ago. There might be a lot of different areas being added in, or just a few, though I don't know how that's going to work just for one character. I mean, that sounds like it would have been really good for the Beastmen too, so hopefully they'll be able to capture those areas just to have a, base hidden away. And finally, ultimately, he must travel to the Heart of Darkness and face the hordes of Tarox in a final desperate battle. So everything sounds pretty interesting. I'll be very honest with you, this is the only information that we were given prior to the launch of this teaser, so I'm very confused, but very interested. It's curious that they decided to drop a teaser instead of a full trailer, though I guess interest has been piqued. What do you guys think so far? I wish there was more to discuss, but we will have some lore videos dropping on the characters if you wish to know more about them. This is literally all the news that has dropped, so we've had to theory craft a little bit. There is even no news regarding what the FLC are going to be, which is very strange. Creative Assembly are being very quiet, and it sounds like they're just trying to keep up the surprises. And I'm all for this. If they want to keep doing this, I'm all for it. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and let's start a bit of a discussion. But with that, my friends, we've come to the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, might I suggest giving the video a like, or even subscribing to the channel, as it really does help us out. In the description section below are various links to different social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and Discord. Also in the description section is an affiliate link with Element Games where you could buy loads of hobby-based products, not just Warhammer, for 10 to 25% off. Making a purchase using that link and also our special code, which is also in the description, supports the channel at no extra cost to you, which we think is rather cool. A big thank you to our patrons. Your support means the world to us. It's amazing that people want to help a small channel like us grow and get to a higher level of content. A big thank you to Gibraltar LUSC, Ryan Bertsche, Andrew Prince, and Okro for subscribing to us at our Fane level. You guys are super cool. And a big thank you to Edward Yule, VS Vasan, Aaron Whitman, and Shaggy for subscribing to us at our King level. Honestly, we can't thank you all enough. And lastly, a big thank you to all of you for liking, sharing, and commenting on these videos. Honestly, it's because of you guys that the channel's been growing at such a great pace lately, so we can't thank you all enough. But with that, my friends, thank you so much for watching once again, and we shall see you all again very soon. Have a good day.